This is problem 8-59 from section 8.1.3. Find the center and radius of each circle below. I'm only going to do a few of these problems, but I think I'm going to pick good ones here. I'm going to do A and C. Okay? So A, all we need to do here, our normal equation of a circle is going to be x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. And HK is the center point, and the radius, or R, is the radius. That one's kind of self-explanatory. Okay, so for part A, I need to rewrite this equation. All I'm going to do is I'm going to add this to both sides instead. Add all that stuff, so let me write it down here for A. So we have y minus 7 squared equals 25 minus the quantity x minus 3. So we have normally the x's and the y's on the same side. So I'm going to just add this quantity here to move it from the other side, the right to the left, basically. So now it's gone. So now I have x minus 3 squared plus y minus 7 squared equals 25. Now, it's in the correct format now. I can just look and figure out what is my h, what's my k, what's the radius. So the h and the k are the opposite of what these things are right here because it's only x minus h. So the h value itself is 3. The k value is just 7. And then my radius is the square root of 25. So that's going to be 5. Okay, so this is for part A. That's in the very basic format. Just find h and k and the square root of basically your number on the right side is the radius. Now C is a little bit more tricky. Okay, so I have x squared. I'm going to put my x's like in one, like next to each other. So I have x squared plus 18x. Okay, those are like next to each other. And then I have y squared minus 8y. And then I'm going to actually subtract that 47 that was on the left side, because all I want on the left side is going to be stuff in parentheses with x's and y's in it, and I really don't want that over here. So I'm going to subtract that 47 to begin with, so it's going to end up equaling negative 47. Now if you think about that, that's not what, the radius can't be the square root of negative 47 because that doesn't make any sense, so we're going to end up doing some things to change that number. We're going to complete the square twice, one time with x's and one time with y's. So I'm going to draw my box here for the x's. So I'm going to have x squared down here, and I'm going to split up 18x into 2 equal parts. So that's 9x, 9x. Outsides are going to be x plus 9, x plus 9. So this top box right here, if I multiply 9 times 9, it should be 81. Now we are looking inside this parentheses, how many constant terms or just regular numbers without x's do I have there? I have none. I have 0. So I have 0. I need to add 81. 0 plus 81 will get me this 81. Okay? So since I added 81 here, I need to add 81 on this other side. So now I have a perfect square. Now I have x plus 9 squared, and that's looking right, that's looking like a circle. Now we're going to complete the square again with the y's. So I have y squared here. I split up the minus 8y into 2 equal parts, minus 4y, minus 4y, and the outsides. When I multiply negative 4 times negative 4, I get 16. Again, I have 0 constant terms up here. I have 0, I need to get to 16, so I add 16. Now it's perfect square. I need to add 16 on this side. Alright, so now I have a perfect square of y's as well. Y minus 4 squared, and that equals all this stuff over here. Negative 47 plus 81 plus 16 is going to equal 50. Okay. So here's my equation. Now that's not what it asked for. It asked for the center and the radius. And the center, again, it's the opposite of the two numbers. So my center is going to be -9 for the x value, and it's going to be +4 for the y value. And the radius, I could say it's the square root of 50. Okay, now I could also simplify that a little bit more and say, well, the square root of 50 could be 25 times 2 on here, right? So I know the square root of 25 is worth 5. So I can pull that out of the radical and be left with 5 times the square root of 2 as your radius. So either this way is if you check the answer in the textbook on online help. This one is also acceptable. If you were actually graphing it, you'd probably want to know what is that value actually worth? How much is the square root of 50 worth? But either way, it should be acceptable here. So make sure you complete the square twice, and you go back and do parts B and D as well for this problem. B, you're going to complete the square only one time. Let's do that. So you're going to complete the square one time for B with your y's, and part D, you just kind of you just got to look at it there. It's kind of in the simple form like part A was.